Folks, I just wanted to do a quick video right now. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Watchwoman 65, Sister Lisa, Lisa Boyce. I follow her on YouTube. I've been following her for a while. She's a great sister in the Lord. I get so much encouragement from her, and you know, the Lord working through her. And she had a video today, and in this video she was talking about how this war, okay, is exposing which side people are on. And you know, for those of you who follow this channel, you know I posted a video last night saying the exact thing, which is this war is showing which side people are on. This war in Israel, this all-out war against Israel. We have so-called Christians, we have people who say they're Christians, who, you know, I've read some of these comments, I've read some of these articles, and just the complete, like, hatred towards the Jewish people. You know, I believe that when you're lost, that you have a built-in anti-Semitic nature about you, that when you are lost and you don't have Christ, there is a built-in anti-Semitic nature about you, because you are of your father the devil. If you are lost, you are of your father the devil. And the devil hates the Jewish people, okay? God told Abraham, I will bless those that bless you, and I will curse those who curse you, okay? For a born-again believer to go against Israel, to not stand with Israel, to not support Israel, to not appreciate Israel, those people are, honestly, I don't even know how you can be a Christian. How can you be a born-again believer in Christ and say that you're not for Israel? This is not, see, with Russia and Ukraine, you could maybe take a side and that wouldn't really determine so much, you know. I mean, it does determine, in a sense, what you believe, right? But it doesn't necessarily show you what's deep within you, right? But this war that's going on right now in Israel is showing us, showing the world, which side people are on. I couldn't bring myself to hate the Jewish people, even if everything in me wanted to. Why? Because God's wrath will be incurred. And I have no intentions, no desire at all to hate the Jewish people, because God commands us as Christians to love the Jewish people. And you have a lot of fake news, false news coming out, because there are people right now who are telling, you know, the world that, you know, oh, Israel has fault in this, oh, Israel's this, oh, Israel's that. Israel was attacked. They were attacked in an unprovoked manner. Over 1,000 Israelis are dead. Their children are being decapitated. Their families are being shot dead. There is a genocide going on right now in Israel. And you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that this is Israel's fault? These are known terrorists. These are known Islamic terrorists, okay? They are savages. These are the same types of people that hijacked those planes in 9/11. These are the same types of people, okay, that say all day long that they hate America, that they want death to America. So if you're siding with Palestine, if you're siding with Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran, you are not on team. You're not on Team Jesus. You're not on the team of Jesus Christ. You're not. You're not. Your morale. You really don't know what's right and wrong. And really it just kind of shows, whether or not you're saved, to be honest with you. If you say, I'm not going to take a position, I'm not going to take a side, I want to be objective, you've already shown what side you're on. You've already shown what side you're on. Because if you are a born again believer, you must side with Israel, not because it's because if you have the Spirit of God in you, okay, if you have the true Spirit of God in you, you're going to support Israel no matter what. It's embedded in you because you have the Holy Spirit. But if you are coming against Israel, if you are now saying that somehow all this bloodshed is right, I dare you to say that when they come into your house and they take your kids and they shoot your sons and they shoot your daughters and they rape your daughters. I dare you to say that then. I dare you to say, oh, well, they just want their land back. No, they are evil monsters. They are terrorists. They grew up being taught that death and murder is the only way. Okay? They are murderous people. They have no light in them whatsoever. They will have no problem going into your house and killing you. And yet you're going to sit here and you're going to say that somehow, somehow they're justified. No, they're not justified. God will destroy them. And if you are on that side, if you say you're a Christian, you better, I'm going to tell you something. You better check if you're even saved. Because if you're truly saved, you're going to support Israel. Not because you're choosing to necessarily, but because it's deeply embedded in you. You cannot bring yourself to go against Israel if you have the Holy Spirit. And I am seeing, you know what this is? This is like Nazi propaganda all over again. That's what this is. The Nazi regime painted the Jewish people like they were lesser than rats, that they were meant to be disposed of. And in all of Germany, except for maybe a few Christians who stood against it, all of Germany went along with Hitler. And they tried to eradicate the Jews from the face of the planet. It was called the final solution. And it was so easy for people to go along with that. Why? Because I truly believe that if you're lost and you do not have Jesus Christ, if you are not saved, there is a built-in anti-Semitic nature about you, to where you will automatically hate the Jews because you are of your father, the devil. So all of you guys who are going to believe this, oh, Palestine, where it's like, you wouldn't say, what about all the people that we sent to the Middle East, in Afghanistan, all the soldiers that we sent, and they were fighting against terror? Are you going to tell me seriously, are you just going to tell me that the U.S. military who went over there to try to stop terrorism? And I don't want to get into, oh, well, we invaded their country and all that. Listen, even if we did, they were still killing innocent people. They killed their own citizens. They're a terrorist organization and they need to be put down regardless. So are you going to tell me that for the last, 20 years since we were in the Middle East, since we were in Afghanistan and Iraq, are you going to tell me that, are you now going to say, oh, well, we shouldn't? Look at the reasoning behind this. Look at the logic behind this. Look at this for really what it is. You know what this is? It reeks of the woke culture. It reeks of the woke, degenerate society that we live in. It reeks of that. And I'll tell you why. Because the woke people say that truth is relative, that it's not objective, that there's no such thing as objective truth, that truth is relative, that, abortion, killing your own children, that's not bad. It's just relative, you name it. Cutting your own body parts off because you want to be another sex, which is impossible for you to be, but you're going to mutilate your body anyway. And we as Christians say, no, don't do that. That's wrong. Okay, God made you a man or God made you a woman. Don't mutilate your body. That's wrong. You're going to hurt yourself. It's not what God intended. And you go and do it anyway. And they come at you as a Christian and they say, oh, well, nothing you say is true because truth is relative. So you're just hate speeching right now. It reeks of that. These people who are siding with Palestine, who are siding with Hamas, who are siding with Hezbollah, who are siding with Iran, you are siding with known terrorists. And it reeks of the woke culture. This is what the woke culture really wanted. You know what? That's what it is. It was Satan's brilliant scheme. It was a brilliant scheme to go in, to infiltrate, to go in, and this was a slow build-up, but it has reached a culmination point to where there's no going back. And it was a brilliant, evil scheme in which you ride on this lie, you bring this lie in, and it's riding on, love is love, and it's riding on this on this notion that love doesn't discriminate, and that it's riding on this just lie, and it's an evil, diabolical mechanism that rides off this false narrative. And once it took root, it spread. Now, it didn't just stay with the LGBTQ community. It didn't just stay with the transgender community. No, it branched out. And now people who aren't necessarily LGBTQ, now people have bought into the lie that truth is relative. They say truth is relative until there's a robber that comes into their house, and he has a Colt 45, he has a pistol, okay, and he walks into your house, and he's gonna break all your furniture, he's gonna go through all your cabinets, he's gonna raid your home, he's gonna take all your money, every bit that he can find, and then when you try to interfere, he's gonna shoot you. And then you say truth is relative. Oh, truth is relative until something bad happens to you. Then it's objective. And this woke culture, what it's done is it's branched out and it's affected everything. And you say, but I'm going to tell you something. There are videos, there are protests going on right now of the LGBTQ, the transgender community, the woke culture protesting right now with signs saying we are for Palestine, basically protesting that Israel needs to drop all their arms and just let Palestine take over, and just let Hamas take over, and let all the terrorists take over because they're trying to get their land. This is not. And I'm sorry if my voice, I'm sorry if I'm loud, I'm sorry. I have warned against this woke culture for so long. I have warned against this for so long with so many people. And I have said that it's communism, it's evil, it's tyrannical. It's just like the Nazi regime. It just has a gay pride flag instead of a swastika. It's the same mechanism. They just covered it up with a gay pride flag. This right now is exposing the darkness in man. If you are against Israel, it's like, how can you, and they did the same thing when that transgender woman walked into that Christian school. This was a few months ago, maybe 5-6 months ago. She walked in and she shot all these students, kids, teachers. She shot everybody that she could find, and the cops eventually shot her dead, right? But she went in and she took lives. And then the mainstream media then said, "Oh well, it's because the Christians were wrong to tell her that homosexuality is a sin. It's the Christians' fault. See, if the Christians just stay out of it, then she wouldn't have killed people. It's their fault. It's that school's fault. It's not her fault." And it's like she just shot kids. She shot people. She killed people. I'm sick of it. I feel like Lot right now, where it says that Lot's righteous soul was vexed. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all the propaganda. I am sick of all the indoctrination. I am sick of all of it trying to get inside my mind. trying to turn me, trying to oppress me, trying to oppress all of us. It's a tyrannical system. I am sick and tired of evil infiltrating every avenue. It's an antichrist spirit. I am sick of evil being called good and good being called evil. I'm sick of it. And what's going on right now in Israel, you can thank this administration, because they allowed it. They fueled Palestine. They fueled Iran. Okay, they empowered Iran. They empowered these terrorists. Then Joe Biden goes out and says, "Oh well, I don't think Iran has anything to do with what's going on." And then I'm thinking, like, why do you lie? Why do you just lie like that, man? Why do you lie? You just lie. And listen, I know why. He's a part of the New World Order system. Okay, he's been bought and paid for by Klaus Schwab. I know the real reason why. But practically speaking, I see that, and my reaction is, you just lie. You just lie about everything. You just lie. You're just a liar. You're just a liar. And like, and it's like people just believe him. They just believe it. People who say that they're moral people, that they're free thinkers, okay? That they're free thinkers, that, they think critically, they will listen to that man and they will say, oh, well, yeah, if he said it, then yeah, Iran must not have anything to do with it then. I'm like, are you serious? It's a known fact that they are giving weapons to Hamas. It's a known fact they are giving weapons to the very people right how are killing innocents. I mean, how can you? It's like, it's like if you're at a crime scene, right? If you're at a crime scene, if Joe Biden was at a crime scene, okay, and they were trying to do a press, the press was asking him questions, and the murdered body was sitting right beside him, or laying right beside him. And they ask him, sir, was this person killed? I mean, of course, that would be that would be obvious. But if they asked him that question, he would say, no, I don't have any reason to believe that this person is dead, has been killed. And it's like, how can you say that? Because the evidence is right. I mean, I can see it. I can see. And he lies about that. He lies. This administration just lies. They just lie. They just lie. And this world system lies. And these lost people out here without Jesus Christ, they lie. That's all they do is lie. They lie, they lie, they lie. That's all they do. And then they believe other people's lives. Just like the Bible said that in the last days, men will go on deceiving and being deceived. And I'm just tired of the bombardment of propaganda, and I can imagine what it would have been like for a German citizen who was a true Christian, who saw what the Nazi party was doing. And yet everywhere he turned, okay, the media, the radio, okay, everywhere he turned, he saw big propaganda posters. Everywhere he went, he saw, people who had bought into Hitler's regime, average citizens who have a little, button with the swastika on it. You know what I mean? Just everywhere you go, you're just like, man, this is horrible. This is horrible. Where everybody is just like, we don't care what happens to Israel. We don't care. Let them all die. Let them, and it's like, no, how can you say that? How can you say that? And I know why. Again, I know why. The reason is it's because they're lost. They don't have Christ. Their natural inclination is to hate Israel. They may not think about it when they wake up. They may not think about it when they go to bed. But when things like this presents itself, when things of this nature present themselves, their inclination is, I'm not going to side with Israel. Even if people in Israel are getting slaughtered, they're going to say, oh, well, well, it's Israel's fault anyway. And it's like, no, it's not. You wouldn't say that if people came over here to your house, blew up your house. You wouldn't say that then. Why are you saying it about Israel? They did nothing to provoke this. They were doing nothing. And this administration, I'm not going to say we, because I'm not a part of this nonsense. But this administration has empowered Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad. They just unfroze like $6 billion worth of assets for Iran. They empowered Iran. This administration empowered a known terrorist state that has nuclear weapons. They empowered them. They literally, it's like giving the keys to your house, giving the keys to, your house to a murderer, a known murderer. Or I should say, it's like you're in charge of someone else's keys, right? You're in charge of someone else. This is a better example. You're in charge of someone else's keys. They're on vacation, or, they're, whatever the case may be, and they trusted you, so that they gave you their keys, and then you walked over to someone who does not like that person or that family, okay, and you give them the keys to that family's house, and then when that family is not trusting you, you gave vital empowerment to their enemy, and they walked in, and then they kill, and it's like, why would you do that? And that's what this American administration has done. I am a patriot. A patriot does not mean that you go along with everything your country says. A patriot, again, is like, it's like a German citizen that knew how Germany was before the war, knew what Germany stood for before both world wars, and they knew what their country was about, okay? And then the Nazi regime arose, okay, out of the ashes of World War I, and they're like, I'm not going to go along with that, even though everybody around me is going along with it. Listen, I'm not going to go along with the Nazi regime. That would be a patriot. Even if your country becomes a corrupt zestpool, which America has, a true patriot stands for the values that America once stood for, not what it's doing now. That's a true patriot. I am a patriot, but I am not for the corruption. I am not for the evil. I'm not for any of that. I'm not going to go along with it. This administration it basically has adopted Nazi ideology. They just repackaged it, and Israel she's so tiny. She needs all the help she can get. I mean, I know that God will protect her ultimately, but I mean, come on, why would you give Israel's enemies so much power to go over there and do what they're going to do? And then you wanted to divide Israel. You wanted to divide Israel and say, Israel, this American administration said, Israel, you got to be split. I mean, what kind of right do we have to go to another country and say, listen, said country, you have to split your land with a known terrorist state that doesn't like you because they say they own part of your land. You have to. No, Israel was there way before Hamas, way before these Palestinians. Israel was formed the moment God spoke to Abraham. The moment God said, I will bless those that bless you and curse those who curse you. The father of Israel, Abraham. It was always God's nation. It was always for the Jewish people, Israel. It's their nation. It has stood for over 2,000 years. Over 2,000 years. And, you know, we're going to see I'm going to make a prediction right now. Listen, I believe that all the prophets are dead. Okay, I'm not a prophet. Okay, I don't believe that anybody can get prophecy from God, like, let's just say Ezekiel or, you know, Jeremiah or Samuel. You know, I again, I believe that those days are over with, per se, but I do believe that God will give us discernment and revelation in regards to the certain times that we're living in, okay? And he will give us insight. And I'm making a prediction here right now, and I'm saying that we are going to see, and the Bible already says it, so it is backed up by the word, but I'm making a prediction that right now, over the next few hours, over the next few days, okay, within this week, within this month, we are going to see anti-Semitism rise like we have never seen it before. The whole world will become a Nazi state, basically. The whole world will basically be like, it will be like the rebirth of the Nazi regime. And I keep bringing them up because that is probably the most prime example of complete hatred towards Jewish people in recent times. Okay, but you know, I could talk about Pharaoh, Egypt. You know how they enslaved the Hebrews. I could talk about that, just as bad. Okay, in their own way. So you know what we're seeing right now. Again, I'm going to make a prediction that we're going to see anti-Semitism rise like we have never seen it before. And I'm talking about to the point to where in some twisted way, this nation that we live in, the United States, in some twisted and diabolical way, they're going to start making the people who stand for Israel seem like terrorists. I'm making a prediction here that in the coming hours and in the coming days, within this month alone, within this week, that the United States is going to start throwing out this narrative that all of those that stand for Israel are terrorists. In some twisted way, it's going to be flipped upside down. And then we're really going to find out who's on whose side. That's what I'm sensing. And, you know, guys, we got to stand for Israel. If you are an anti-Semite, okay, I mean, how can you call yourself a Christian? Do you realize that without Israel, without the Jewish people, there would be no salvation? The God that saved me, the God that saved this person and that person, is the God of Israel. Not the God of America, the God of Israel. So if you say you're a Christian and you hate Israel, I don't think you are really a Christian. I know that we are saved by grace. Okay, I know that we are not saved by our works. Okay, I know that it's believing in Christ Jesus that saves us, and it's not our deeds that save us. But there are indicators. What we say, Bible says we will know them by their fruits. In 1 John, it says that they that went out from us proved that they were never really of us, because of the fact they went out from us made evident that they were never truly of us. Meaning that we're going to see, I would say, an apostasy like we've never seen before, really. That's what I'm predicting right now. That this war is going to bring out if you're against Israel, if you are against the Jewish people, I mean, it's not going to be good for you, man. It's just not. It's not going to be good for you. You are incurring God's wrath upon your own life. If you hate Israel, if you are going to side with these terrorists, known terrorists, and if you're going to overlook and twist and distort reality about all the innocents that are being slain, all the children that are being slain right now in cold blood, if you are going to support Hamas and Palestine, despite knowing all of that, you're not a Christian. You're not a Christian. You're not saved. You're not on Jesus's team. You're on the side of Satan. You are of your father, the devil. If you side with Palestine, if you side with known terrorists, you are on the side of the devil. I mean, think about how crazy that sounds, that a person would side with a known Islamic terrorist, an American citizen would side, who says they love their country, who, you know, and all this stuff, who would side with a known terrorist. Look how chaotic and depraved that is. Guys, we are at the end. The rapture is about to happen. And we need to pray for Israel. But like I said in one of my previous videos, we need to pray personally for the people of Israel. We need to pray that some of these families are either reunited or in some sort of way protected. Okay, however God decides to do it, right? We need to pray for their protection. We need to pray for, you know, families to be reunited. We need to pray for them personally as people, okay? Because that's our duty as a Christian, to pray for Israel. They are by the way, Israel is God's biological children. Just so you know, if you're a Christian, understand this. Israel is God's biological children. We as Christians are the adopted ones. We're adopted. We're just adopted. They are his biological children. And yes, the tribulation period is for them because God has got to wake his biological children up. He's got to say, listen, guys, listen, Jesus is the Messiah, and I'm going to have to show you. I didn't want to have to go hard like this, but it has to be this way. So God's going to have to show Israel that Jesus is the Messiah in the tribulation period. But don't ever think that Israel is not important. Israel is God's biological children. We are the adopted ones. We were grafted in. We're the Gentiles. Okay? That's just the reality. So, you know, guys, we're at the end. The rapture's about to happen. And just prepare yourselves because, like I said, I am looking at this and I'm like, you know what? I can already feel the anti-Semitism rising all around me. I can feel people churning in their hatred right now for the Jewish people. And these people probably, you know, several weeks ago before this happened, probably didn't even give a second thought about Israel. It wasn't even on their mind. But as soon as this happened, the darkness in them, the built-in anti-Semitism in them comes out. And it reveals their true nature. It reveals who they're really of. So anyways, guys, I love you, and just be prepared. You know, we're going home very soon, and pray for me. Please pray for me. Pray for me right now. You know, I'm going through something of my own. Part of it was caused by me. Part of it, you know, wasn't. So just pray that I get redirected where, you know, right now in this time that we're living in. So anyways, guys, I love you, and I'll talk to you later.